just conversations about doing geothermal something. Is that still part of the plan?
Geothermal?
I can't hear
So repeat the question again, please.
You're talking about sustainability, and in particular whether geothermal is still part of what Cornell is looking at.
Yeah, so I didn't talk about sustainability, thank you, I should have. Absolutely a key part of what we're doing, and one of the reasons we are so excited about Morphosis as their architect is they are fixated and really committed to sustainability. So legally with the city, we're committed to leave sulfur for the entire campus, but we said all along that we're pushing for net zero in our first academic building, which would be a huge statement. Would be the largest building we know of on the East Coast and not in the country.
All right, I'm going to go to this side. This lady has had her hand up, and I'll go over to you. Yes,
I'd like to
ma'am.
know, everyone to know that we have a large population of immigration there. And a lot of them are Russian, and they're being taunted to move in, go back to their country with amputations and things like that. My concern is we just got lawyers to see if they can help them. It's a large population, and we want to see, they're not going to meet the time element that you require. They're not going to meet that element with them, because there's no way for them to go.
Are you talking about that these are residents within the hospital? These are Russian immigrants? Is that what you're saying?
Russian immigrants, immigration. We have a large population of immigrants, more than regular patients.
You're saying within the hospital?
Within the hospitals, and we're.
And these are, okay, so these are immigrants. So you're, and what are you saying is going on?
I'm working on, we getting lawyers, we brought lawyers there to see what they can do to help the resident. The place that they're placing the new hospital,
Right.
it's only for the respiratory people only, not the amputees or anything like that. The year after next will be the place for them. They're gonna
Right.
build it, and Community Board 5, so they zone them for another year after your timeline. So they have nowhere to go.
Right.
And it's the largest population there.
Okay, so I'll follow up with that. We'll follow up. The community board will follow up and find out. Okay, all right. I'll restate it. Within the hospital, you're saying there's a large number of immigrants who apparently are trying to get residency status, right?
They need apartments. They need a home.
And you're saying that there's difficulty there placing them at this point. They're not sure.
Place them.
They can't place them at this point.
Yeah, so we've got lawyers to come in.
So you've gotten. Are you with the hospital? Are you with the hospital?
I just didn't say. I tell you what I'm doing.
Okay.
I do other things. Okay. As
Okay.
a community person, but I brought the issues up, and they send lawyers to see what they can do to help them.
Right.
And
So you're
my concern is there's so many of them there, and nowhere to go. There's not a small. They don't even go outside. They stay
right.
inside.
So your concern is about those immigrants basically and what their status is going to be. Ellen, did you have something on this? Ellen Palvey is with Community Board 8. She's a resident also of Roosevelt Island. Ellen? Yeah, Ellen also co-chairs that committee, but I'll talk to Ellen and we'll follow up and get the information from you. Okay?
The hospital is environmentally safe with streptococcus mold. Now, I didn't see you transferring any of that in.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Streptococcus mold.
The mold, right?
It's there.
Right?
Okay? For you to move anything from there in town, you gotta find a way to egress it off the island.
Right.
It's there. Okay?
So that- right.
And I'm very experienced about
Right.
streptococcus mold. Okay? So I can tell you that. If you wanna know, I'll give you my
Right.
own report to show you what's mold.
But your concern is how that's going to get transported off down. Do you want to restate that and respond to that? Yeah?
And again, there'll be a very detailed phase 2 assessment that will pick up conditions, and if there's a mold condition, that will be part of what's done. And it will be contained in accordance with all laws, and there will be, again, for asbestos, there is air monitoring that's part of it. So it will be done in accordance with all the standards and would not pose a health risk because of that.
Yes, okay. Yes, you had a question.
Yes, thank you. Well, I wanted to say I think it's great that there's so many people here to talk about land use because it really is so important to the island and to the world, right? Land use and what that means. And I mean, I applaud you guys for following the structure of seemingly, democratic spaces that we, are privileged to have here in New York and in the United States. and I think about, all of the Palestinian villages that get demolished, at the drop of a bucket. And so that's how, for me, it's just a nice parallel that I'm thinking of right now, and it saddens me. And so I wanted to pose the question to you guys about land use. What do you guys think about this partnership with an Israeli institution complicit in war crimes? I want to know if you have comments.
Get off that. We don't want that here.
No, let her talk.
Nonsense.
Let her talk. This is really important. Let her talk. Because the Technion is an institution.
Ma'am. She asked a question. If you want to make any
and
response
it is
to that, ma'am.
That is complicit in international war crimes.
Hold on. Order. Hold on.
And the violation of international law.
Hold on.
And that's something that should be discussed.
Ma'am.
And don't shut us up.
Hold on.
If you really want a democratic space.
Ma'am.
I am a resident of New York City. I am a taxpayer, and I care about this issue.
You're the only person that's screaming.
We all care about it. Because people are trying to shut me up.
No, hold on. Please, everyone, please. Ma'am, okay. All right. Is there any response you would want to make to that?
I don't think so.
No, I mean,
We think it's a great partnership.
yeah.
Do you have any comments?
Do you have any comments about the fact?
She's made a
You think it's
response.
good?
She's made a
You
response.
think it's a good thing
Ma'am.
to partner with an institution
Ma'am,
that is
that's
complicit
their
in
response.
violation of international law,
Okay.
that is involved in ethnic cleansing,
All right.
that academic scholars have proven beyond a shadow of a doubt?
Ma'am, okay.
You don't think there's anything wrong with that? I just want to know that you don't think there's
No,
anything
ma'am, she
wrong
answered
with
your
that.
question. She answered your question.
Yes or no?
Please, everyone, please.
Yes or no?
She answered your question.
You don't think it's a
She answered your
problem?
question.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Well, just
okay,
to follow
we're gonna move
up,
on.
if there's anyone in the room here as a resident that is concerned that this island and that the city is partnering with an Israeli institution, then we can talk later.
All right, that's that.
Thank you.
to
That's
see
it.
a discussion
No, ma'am.
of it publicly, but not tonight.
That's right. Who had their hand up over here? Yes. Okay. I'm gonna go. Actually, in the back, there's a gentleman who hasn't spoken yet. I can't really see him too well, but go ahead. I can't hear you.
This is a question on behalf of the students right here.
Yeah.
She wants to know if the campus and the university, all of it, will be wheelchair accessible.
Well, right. So restate the question again.
So the question is whether the campus and the university will be wheelchair accessible, all of it, and the answer is it needs to be, and it will be.
Okay. Yes, it will be then. It will be wheelchair accessible. Yes. Okay. That gentleman here, and then I'll go over to you again. Yes, sir.
I'm a resident of Roosevelt Island, and I do share concerns that other people raised about partnership with the Israeli institutes. I just wanted to let you know that a lot of residents actually have these concerns.
Can you speak louder?
Okay.
It is something that you need to address at some point, otherwise it's just
Right. Okay. Tonight we're talking about the Euler process tonight. That's what we're going to focus. That's what we're going to focus on. Yes, sir. In the back, and then I'll go to you. Yes.
A recurring issue that's come up in the infrastructure of the island is the state of the seawall and the riprap surrounding the island.